Hi there, it's Dr. Shiroko, and I'm the owner of Heart to Heart Medical Center and the author of the book Healing When It Seems Impossible: 7 Keys to Defy the Odds. And today I'm going to talk about seasonal depression. We're coming up on the holidays, and I wanted to talk about what happens sometimes, especially in the northern hemispheres, during the holidays or even around the time of the holidays with the light getting less and less. Some people are affected by the amount of daylight and sunlight that they experience, and so there are symptoms of depression that are maybe worse in the wintertime. It's said that, like over 60% of people might actually experience depression at some point in their lives, so this is a big deal. And there's a lot of reasons for depression around the holidays. So there might be people that you don't get to connect to, especially in the time of the pandemic. There were a lot of times when people couldn't get together. I know that during the pandemic, there was a period of time when I couldn't get together with my people that were my family and friends. And it was very upsetting to me. And so it can be very upsetting at this time of year for many, many reasons. I'm going to share with you a couple of slides and some ideas about things to do for this time. So of course, this is my talk about how to manage seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression. And here are the symptoms. So you may experience more tiredness, more lack of energy. Uh, you might not enjoy certain activities. You might need to hibernate or spend more time by yourself at this time of year, or you might just not enjoy spending time with the people that you love. You might have trouble sleeping. You might either sleep more than you normally do or less than you would normally sleep. You might want to eat certain foods that might not be helpful. You might have trouble making decisions or concentrating on things. You may have difficulty with your job, and you may tend to be more irritable with the people that are around or the people that you do love. And so these are all possible things that could be happening. And then, of course, there's the possibility that you might want to harm yourself. And I'll talk about several of these things in just a little minute. Uh, okay. And so the things that might cause it are, a change in your social interactions. It might be that you feel stressed basically because you have too much to do. So many people who have lots of family connections feel like they have too much to do and too many obligations. And it might be hard for you to say no to family members, or it might be hard to if you have a certain pattern of behavior, it might be hard to just change that pattern just because you don't feel like doing something this year, and you don't want to say no to the people who kind of count on you to do it. You might feel fatigued. This time of year is the time of the year of the kidneys. And in general, people are more tired at this time of year because we should be resting more. We should be giving ourselves a sort of more recovery time for things. And so you might feel more fatigue at this time of year. You might feel obligations like traveling or seeing family members, or you might be the person who cooks for everybody and you might not feel like you want to do that. But so there's many, many reasons you might feel this. For a lot of people, especially this year, there might be more financial stress if you want to feel obligated to buy gifts for certain people, or you want to spend a certain amount of money that you may not have. You also may have expectations of others that you love, or that you expect them to behave a certain way with you, and so that could be a problem. There's this travel stress. If you're flying somewhere, I always plan not to fly anywhere at this time of year just because the airports are crazy. So if I want to see people that I love, I try to go at other times of the year just to have less travel stress. Might be spending time with family that you don't necessarily want to spend time with, and so that could also be a stress. For some of my clients, and I know this may actually have happened to more than many people, is that you may be missing somebody that you've lost over the And that may be for years and years, not just the first year after you lost that one person, but it could be several years that you feel that the loss of that person that you loved. Loneliness. One could be experiencing loneliness because they live alone or because they don't have the people around them that they love and all that. And then actually also the seasonal change, the change in light is actually pretty important for people who are sensitive to light and day and sun. I have a lot of clients who love the summertime and this time of the year when it's mostly dark. They don't like it because there's so much darkness. And so I'm going to talk about that too for just a little minute. What to do, how to support somebody. First of all, if you are a person who's struggling with depression, what you should do is reach out to the people that you feel are your support people. Reach out to friends, reach out to family members that you love, reach out to people and talk about your situation. Find ways to connect. If you don't feel comfortable talking about how you're feeling, then what you can do, excuse me, is reach out to people and just spend time with them. Go to movies. If you have acquaintances that maybe you haven't made friends with yet, but maybe that you feel comfortable with them, just go spend time with other people. One of the things that I also suggest, if you don't have people to go spend time with, or you don't feel comfortable with the people that you do have time to spend time with, volunteer. Volunteer either at a soup kitchen or at a place where they feed the people who don't have families or food, or volunteer to go distribute gifts to children, because there's a lot of, gift giving for families that don't have somebody in their lives. Do something that allows you to connect with others. If you are a person who has a loved one that is struggling or having issues, then here are things that you can do. You can listen with sympathy, not symphony. You can listen to them with sympathy. Having trouble with that word today. You could check in with them. I have a friend whose husband is dying right now, and she's very, very busy with that person, but I can always reach out to her and tell her, I love you, I'm thinking of you, just sending you lots of love, or send her a joke, or send her a sweet note or something. Reach out and let that person know that you care about them. And it's not about pushing them to spend time with you because they may not have the time at certain, in this time of year. Just let them know that they're loved. This whole thing is really about finding ways to have more love and to listen to people who are struggling and make sure that they have an opportunity to share what's in their hearts. And if you are struggling and you don't know how to share what's in your heart, then write it down, put it in a journal and write down what's in your heart, what are you going through, and find some way to connect with somebody who will have a sympathetic ear. Another thing that's, because of the light issue, what you can do is get a light box. Now, light boxes are boxes that have a specific type of light that helps you simulate the daylight setting, and that's very, very helpful because if you're having a seasonal thing because of the amount of daylight there is, then you can get one of these light boxes and shine it on your face when you're sitting at your desk, or shine it like when you're watching television or something, so that it will help you get some of that daylight energy. And that's very, very valuable because it has been scientifically proven to help people when they're struggling with that sort of seasonal depression based on the daylight. And here's a link for to the Mayo Clinic information on how to choose a light box. I don't have one particularly that I know of personally, so I'm giving you this information to help you find whatever you need there. And this is a site that I found online. It's called makeitokay.org, and it has all kinds of suggestions for how to feel okay during this time of year, and how to talk to a person who is struggling with depression at any time of year, so that you have some tools that are helpful. And I like the tools that they have. So here's the link to click on that. And then I'm going to give you a little supplement protocol. Here is a link to order that supplement protocol, but I'm going to talk about what supplements might be helpful at this time of year. And then I'll talk a little bit about what diet might be helpful, like what foods are helpful. And of course, the foods that we crave are not necessarily the most helpful. So in winter, again, I've said this before, it's the time of hibernation. And so we do sort of tend to go for more carb type foods and more comforting foods, because our bodies need sort of the fuel to manage with the cold, but you don't want to overeat that kind of thing. And you want to be able to support your system with the foods that it needs. So I'll talk about diet in just a second, but supplement wise, here are the things that are helpful. First of all, omega fatty acids. Omegas are the, fish oils, and they can also come from plants. So there's a vegetarian omega-3 fats. And omega-3 fats help support your brain. So they help you get the chemicals that your brain needs. They help you support your nervous system and your hormones and your immune system. So if you were just going to take one supplement forever, it would be to take an omega to support. And this protocol that I've listed here that you can click on has omegas. It has a multivitamin that has the right kind of B vitamins and minerals and vitamin D. So the other important element of winter, especially winter depression, is the vitamin D. Vitamin D helps, is the vitamin that you get from sunlight. And so when we don't have sunlight, we need more vitamin D. You can measure your vitamin D levels and to figure out exactly how much you need. But also, if you just take vitamin D in the winter and make sure that you get at least 2,000 IU, which is what is in the multivitamin that I recommend here. But if you take at least 2,000 IU of vitamin D a day, that will be helpful in terms of supporting your nervous system. So it supports your nervous system, it supports your hormones and your immune system, just like the omegas. So that's a very valuable vitamin for this time of year. Another thing that is helpful is supplements that help your balancing neurotransmitters. And so in this protocol that I've created, it's just a little protocol with omegas and multivitamin, and then something called NeuroCalm. And it has, and there are millions of supplements that have these same things in them, but it has 5-HTP, which is a precursor for serotonin. It has GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter. It has phosphatidylserine, which helps lower cortisol, which can help lower anxiety. It has taurine, which is a neurotransmitter, and it has it has a few B vitamins and magnesium. Magnesium is a very important element to calming down your nervous system as well and helping your nervous system feel supported. So those are very valuable supplements that you can take at this time of year to support your system in terms of feeling well. There are a few other supplement protocols that I didn't get a chance to put on this slideshow, so I apologize for that. And then there's, and then let me talk about food in addition to all of this. So food-wise, in the winter and in a time when you're feeling more depressed, first of all, in the morning, you want to make sure you have some protein. Now that protein can be in any form, but you want to make sure within an hour of getting up that you have protein for breakfast. And that can be eggs, it can be some kind of meat if you eat that. It can be a vegetable protein shake made with pea protein, or there's all kinds of vegetarian sources of protein powders. You can make a shake. In the winter, I actually make my shakes warm. So I heat up a nut milk that I make myself, and then I put the shake mix in it. so that then the shake is warm because it's so cold in the wintertime, and so that can be useful and helpful. And so first you want to have protein for breakfast, and then throughout the day you want to make sure you have some protein. So nuts are a great source of protein, because if you're not allergic to them, because they have good fats and they have proteins. One of my favorite nuts to recommend is walnuts, because they're shaped like your brain, and they have some high quality omegas in them, but they're also good for they have a protein source. So all kinds of nuts in addition to walnuts. And then you can also get make sure that you get a high quality carbohydrates, so things like butternut squash or sweet potatoes, or um, you don't want to eat a lot of especially most people, it's better if you stay away from gluten. It's not necessary for all of us, but you want some high quality carbohydrates to support your body through this time as well. And also you want to stay away from sugar, because sugar can make you feel more depressed. For the people who are sensitive to gluten, this is just an aside, but if you are sensitive to gluten, then you may find that you'll be more depressed if you eat gluten. So you want to stay away from it, especially at this time of year where you feel the temptation, because so many people have such wonderful gluten products, but stay away from them if you are a person who gets depressed when you eat them. So I hope you find this helpful, and I look forward to sharing more information with you. Every couple of weeks I do a Facebook Live, and if you're interested in more information, just give me a call or click on a link to contact my office. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday season, and I hope to talk to you soon.